happy Tuesday and welcome back to my channel. This week's video is going to be really exciting because I am at a major weaving event for the whole week. This event is put on by the Handweavers Guild of America and it's called Convergence, and it's pretty much just like an entire week of all things weaving and fiber. There's going to be classes and workshops, fashion shows, exhibitions, and a marketplace for shopping. And I'm not only here to just like enjoy the festivities, I'm also here as an intern. The HGA very kindly sponsored me as an intern, so in exchange for some hours of work, they pretty much flew me in, got me a hotel, and are allowing me to take classes for free, which is just like so incredibly generous, and I am so thankful for this opportunity. So I'm going to take you along on as much of this week's activities as I possibly can, and hopefully you'll enjoy it too. I just got here to my hotel room a couple hours ago and I'm waiting for my assigned roommate to join me. So I'm probably just gonna like wrap things up here for tonight, get in bed early, take it easy, and prepare for tomorrow, which is gonna be like an entire day of work. And I'm really excited for that. So yeah, I'll see you then. After meeting up with the rest of the intern group, we headed over to the site of our first task, which is where we'd be setting up all of the artworks for the exhibition display. The exhibits were divided into several categories, including wearable art, basketry, yardage, mixed media, and the interns and leaders exhibit, which is where I got to show off one of my own pieces. I brought one of my hand-woven statement scarves. This piece was made using a hand-painted warp and wool yarns that I had spun and dyed myself and then wove on a 16 harness table loom. This scarf is actually from my last semester at FIT, so you guys haven't seen this one yet since I haven't started sharing those FIT vlogs just yet. Don't worry, the videos are coming out soon, and I guess you can consider this a little teaser of what I was working on for my senior thesis project. We then spent the rest of the day unpacking artworks and hanging them up. This is the section of the exhibit area that I was helping out with, which featured the intern and workshop leader works. Hello again, I just got back to my room. Today has been such a long day. I woke up at 6:30 and I pretty much have just been working nonstop. It is now 8 p.m. and I desperately need dinner. Our big task for today was pretty much just the exhibition setup, which was just a lot of like physical labor, like lifting things, moving things, climbing on ladders, hanging things up, labeling things. So I'm just like really tired. I definitely need to take it easy because tomorrow is also going to be another like really long day of work. It's been really fun though. It's been really fulfilling to be a part of this experience and also just to see like how something like this operates. It's been really fascinating. So yeah, overall everything's great. I just need a rest. So I'll see you tomorrow. Good morning! Today's gonna be a super busy day. I pretty much just have like volunteer shift after volunteer shift after volunteer shift with a little class in between, followed by more volunteer work. So I'm gonna be like sprinting around the entire day and I'll try to show you as much as I possibly can. My first shift for the morning is just kind of like ticket checking for the marketplace, just making sure that everyone has the badge that they're supposed to have, and yeah, should be pretty fun. In between my shifts, I usually had about 15 minutes or so of downtime, which I used to explore the marketplace. This marketplace was especially fun because I feel like it's not super common to find weaving tools and equipment for sale in person. So there was just tons to see, lots of yarn to squish, and so many looms to try out. And of course, I had to buy a few things because how could I not? There's gonna be a haul at the end of this video, so make sure you stick around for that. Another one of my shifts was helping out at the exhibits and making sure that people weren't touching any of the artworks. As you can imagine, in an exhibit all about handmade textiles, it was so hard to not want to touch all of the artworks. I also attended my first seminar, which was called ECAT, The Power of Pattern, and was hosted by Mary Zickafoos. ECAT is a technique where warp and weft threads are tie-dyed before weaving to create striking patterns. And this seminar was all about the many ways in which this technique has been used around the world, as well as how Mary incorporates it into her own works. After my morning of working and workshopping, it was then time for our big task of the day, the Wearable Art Fashion Show. Our job as interns was to handle the garments and to help dress the models as they came backstage for the outfit changes. We were basically just making sure that all the artworks were being handled carefully and looking their absolute best for their moment on stage. And then, after the show was over, we brought all the pieces to the exhibit hall and spent the rest of the night hanging them up for display. The next day, I helped out with a Kami Ito workshop. Kami Ito is the process of making yarn by spinning washi paper. This class was taught by Saralisa Yelitalo, who is just the absolute nicest person, and having the chance to get to know her, to hear her story, and to give this totally new to me technique a try was such a fun experience. I just finished up one of my big shifts for the day, which was that paper spinning class. I was a studio assistant from about 8:30 in the morning to now, which is almost 5 p.m. So it's already been a really long day and I still have more to go. I have a little bit of a break now, so I'm here at the marketplace and I'm just gonna explore for a little while and try to unwind after class. Then I have another shift as like a entryway badge checker, making sure people have the tickets they're supposed to have. Then I have a shift at exhibit security, and that ends at 9 p.m. Then we're gonna head home. So it's another very long day, but it's been really good so far, and I think it's gonna keep being good. So yeah, let's go look around a bit. And here's my hand-woven outfit of the day, featuring a scarf that I made during my San Diego weaving adventures. Also, during my tiny bit of free time, I headed over to the loom rental area to find the loom that I was going to be borrowing for my workshop later on in the week. And I started beaming a bright green warp that I brought with me in my suitcase. The next day, I had another hand-woven outfit ready, and I headed to my first workshop of the day. This class was hosted by Robin Spady, and it was all about couture tweed fabrics. I was so excited about this class in particular because I love the look of couture tweeds, and I would love to try to make some of my own someday, and this class definitely got me even more excited about this topic. Afterwards, I helped out with a class hosted by Karen Dondi, which was all about double two tie-ups, a weaving technique that allows for complex structures with only a few harnesses, and it was fascinating. And then I attended a jurors talk hosted by Susan Lazier, who juried the wearable art exhibition and was sharing her comments and critiques of each piece. Also, throughout the day, whenever I had even a moment of free time, I headed to the loom room and chipped away at threading my workshop loom. Good morning, happy Sunday! I am on my way to the loom rental workshop to go try to thread as much of my loom as possible before all my intern responsibilities begin. Threading this loom has been so challenging because they didn't actually give me like really much free time at all to do that, so I've just been trying to squeeze it in between tasks, and my class is tomorrow, so I really have to get it done today. about an hour of threading, I headed over to my next workshop, which was all about the art and craft of teaching weaving. And then I headed to another workshop hosted by Karen Dondi, which was all about creating and drafting color and weave motifs. Since the weekend events were coming to an end, our last official intern task was to spend the rest of the day back in the exhibition hall, repacking all of the artwork in their original boxes. And to celebrate the end of our long conference weekend, all of the interns gathered together for a very cozy Italian meal. On Monday, the main part of the conference was officially over, but the multi-day workshops were just beginning. And this was the start of my 3-day workshop, which I was so excited for. This workshop was hosted by Deborah Silver and was about the technique of split shed weaving, which is a hand manipulation technique for creating woven images using only 4 harnesses. I love hand manipulation and I love graphic pictorial weaves, so this was definitely the perfect workshop for me, and I genuinely loved every minute of this experience. We started by picking out a cartoon from Deborah's collection, and I thought this cat was pretty cute. So I made the motif using a 1/3 twill and the ground using a broken twill. For the next technique, I made a fish, but the yarn I was using was really thick, so the fish turned out really low res looking, which is fine, it's just a sample. And for my next sample, I picked out a flower shape for a summer and winter weave. Okay, I'm on my lunch break now, and the interns are all banding together to go visit Complexity, which is an exhibition that's not too far from here that the Complex Weavers group put on, which should be really fun. So let's go. Back at the workshop, I made this cute little teapot using 2 weft colors at once. And then I did a piqué weave, which should fluff up a lot after washing. After my 3 whole days of weaving workshop, I cut my samples off of the loom, and here's how they all turned out. Hello, happy Thursday! It is officially my day to go home from Convergence, and while I was packing up my stuff, I thought it might be fun to show you everything that I got during this absolutely crazy and absolutely wonderful week here in Kansas. So in this haul, I have a wide variety of things. It kind of ranges from like objects and materials that were relating to the classes that I took and the people that I met while I was there, and also things that I pretty much had like never seen before in other festivals, so items that I thought were really unique that I could then bring home and experiment with. So yeah, let's get started. So the first thing I got is Mary Zickafoos's ECAT book. I had the pleasure of taking her seminar this week, and she is truly like the expert on ECAT, and this book is wonderful because it has really clear visual images and descriptions of how to do the ECAT process. I'm fascinated by ECAT, but overwhelmed by trying to figure out how it works, so I figured this could be a really great guide. And also, I took her class, so it's kind of fun to have this as a souvenir. Next up on my list, I got from the Natural Twist. They had a ton of natural dye materials, and I was tempted by all of them, but I ended up coming home with a little jar of madder root. Madder is a plant whose really thick roots provide really rich red dyes, and I kind of have like a dream to try to grow that someday. But the issue with growing madder, well, I guess not the issue, but the kind of quirk of growing madder is that you have to wait 3 years for the plant to mature before you can harvest it. So I figured if I'm gonna plant it, I need to wait a really long time before I can actually harvest it, so I can maybe use this to practice and figure things out and learn all about it. Even if I don't end up planting it, this is still gonna be a lot of fun. Next up, from the Glimacra booth, I hope I'm saying that correctly, they had an amazing variety of fibers for weaving, and one of the things that I was most attracted to was their collection of linens, and I found this black and white linen that's just a black and a white plied together, and I thought it was just very cheerful and something that I don't feel like I've seen that much. And I have a kind of orange, brown, black, white linen warp at home that I think this would go really well with as a weft. So yeah, beautiful linen yarn. Next up, from Clemis & Clemis, I got a bag of fiber. Clemis & Clemis has this like brand or line of fiber that they distribute called Good Clean Fiber, and essentially what that is a fleece that has only been washed. And I really like this because I really want to experience the whole like fleece preparation process, but for me the washing part is kind of what's holding me up, because I don't really want to bring a really dirty like poopy fleece into my house, because I don't really have the ability to deal with that in my current living situation. So this gives me the chance to still participate in most of the fleece preparation process, just not the washing, and I love that. Anyway, it's Corriedale, Romedale, and Romney, and it is just absolutely beautiful. Very, very soft. And I got it in white so I could dye it and play with it. Maybe I'll combine it with the madder, I don't really know, but I think there's a lot of potential for a very fun project with this. In a similar vein, I got some more fibers for spinning. I got these 3 braids from Honey Gold Acres. I specifically picked these out because I feel like they were fiber combinations that I wasn't super used to seeing in these festivals, so I thought it'd be really fun to just like try them out. The first one is this absolutely gorgeous 50% yak, 50% mulberry silk. It is so soft, and normally I'm not much of a gray person, but I thought this specific blend of like gray yak and white silk was just so pretty. The next one I got is 50% tussa silk and 50% baby camel. Similarly, I don't usually work in browns, but I just found these colors so stunning, and knowing for both of these that these are like the natural fiber colors, I just think is so special because it's unique fibers, and then these braids really like let those fibers sing, and it's perfect. And then the third one that I got is 50% cashmere, 50% mulberry silk, and this one is in white, so I have a lot of dyeing potential with it, which is also very exciting. I'm realizing I got quite a few things with the intention of like dyeing them. I think it's because this semester in my thesis I did a lot of dyeing, which I know you guys haven't really seen any of those videos yet because I'm still editing them, and we'll get them to you after this one. But yeah, I'm definitely having fun dyeing stuff, so I have 2 more things that are pure white and ready to dye. I got a beautiful white skein of silk from Z Twist Dye Works, and I got this because she had a lot of samples in her booth of specifically this yarn, and the silk is just so unique in its texture. It produces a really like cushiony, kind of squishy fabric that I hadn't really experienced before, and because it's white, I can have a lot of fun with it with color. Then from Shiny Dime Fibers, I got a warp that is 100% tensile. It's 6 yards, 208 ends, and it is in an undyed white color, which is really exciting because tensile takes dye really well. I haven't really had much of an experience with it before, but I know it's supposed to produce really great results, so I thought it's already warped for me. I can just have fun applying color to it, and I'm really stoked about that. I also signed up for a subscription to the publication Heddlecraft, which is Robin Spady's publication, and in doing so, I got a really cute mug that is just covered in fun weave terminology. There's like shaft, heddle, EPI, weft, pick, set, and it's adorable. And then from the brand The Fold Out Cat, I had the wonderful experience to meet Q, who owns that company and was running the booth, and we like totally hit it off. They do the similar freestyle weaving that I do. We have the same looms. They have a lot of the same kind of like fiber philosophies. So it was really fun to get to know them and have this like really high energy, exciting conversation about something we're both really passionate about. And they very kindly gifted me 2 things. The first one is this really adorable little reusable bag that folds into this really cute little cat face. So when it's folded up, it's a little cat bag, and when it's opened up, it has the Fold Out Cat branding on the front, which I think is really fun. And then I was also gifted a little pot of Angelina fibers, which is just in a colorway that I think is absolutely beautiful. It's like a brown fiber, but the iridescence is in green and purple and blue and gold. And I think it's just like a really unique colorway that I think would blend really nicely with some of the fibers that I have at home. So I'm excited to play around with this. So thank you, Q. I also got a gift from one of my professors who was here. She bought these really, really sweet little handmade, I think they're like business card holders. And this one is covered in cats, absolutely neon, and then the inside it has an adorable little cat face. It's kind of like a peekaboo surprise. So thank you to my Professor Ellen. And then one final thing, when I was at the complexity exhibition, that whole area is like a really huge teaching space and learning space. So it's not only these like really fun exhibitions, it's also a space where people can come to learn really unique crafts. And one of the things they teach there is enameling. So in their store, they had a lot of enameled products that were from their local teachers and their students. And I just like absolutely fell in love with one of the pairs of earrings that was from one of their instructors. It's just like a very bold and cheerful polka dot and black and white design. So I'm definitely going to be wearing these a lot because I think they're just such a joy. So yeah, that's my big haul from this whole week. I know it's quite a lot of stuff, but it's all stuff that I know I'm going to use and I know I'm going to learn a lot from and create things with and maybe feature in my videos. So I'm very happy with all of this and I'm really, really looking forward to using it all. This whole week has just been an absolutely incredible experience. I really tried my best to like film as much as I could for you guys, but it was such a whirlwind and we were bouncing between like intern tasks, taking workshops, assisting with workshops, and then just like sprinting around the hotel in the in-between moments. So I tried to film as much as I could and I hope that I can make it come together in the edit. It was just such an absolute joy and such an honor to like be a part of this experience and to have been selected as an intern. I learned so much this week, not only just like from the classes and the workshops that I participated in, but also just from being behind the scenes of a big event like this, like doing the exhibit setup and like helping instructors kind of like prepare for their classes and just having the chance to have not only the perspective from like an attendee of a festival like this, but also from the like back of house behind the scenes too. I also learned so much just from like talking to people, because one of the wonderful things about these kinds of conferences is that everyone who attends like weaving conferences and knitting conferences and festivals and like those kinds of things is that everyone is just like so crazy nice and so incredibly generous with their information. Like this is the kind of place where you just be like standing around and someone would just walk up to you and just start a conversation. And usually from these interactions, I would just learn so much because everyone who comes to these usually has like either a really unique background or a really unique job or a really unique reason that they started weaving or something really unique about their weaving and crafting process. So they're here to kind of like explore that. And then there's so many people like that everyone just kind of like intermixes and mingles and shares and exchanges information really freely. It's kind of funny. I actually started this like note on my phone where I could just, during a conversation with somebody, just like pull it out and start writing down things that they're telling me. Like, let's say someone would be like, oh, I just took this workshop and it's from this person and they have this book that I really like. And I would just pull out my phone and just start writing everything down. So now I have this huge list of things to look up, and that's like workshop instructors, workshops I should take, schools I should consider visiting, museum exhibitions, cities to visit that have cool things going on in terms of like textiles and fibers, techniques I should look up, publications I should look up. The list is just huge, and the fact that I could do that like so easily just shows how generous everyone here is with their information and their willingness to just like share their experiences. And I value that so much because it just creates this incredible community just filled with kindness and generosity. People just are excited to chat, are excited to talk about what they're up to, and they want to hear what you're up to. But I just want to encourage you, if you're watching this, to consider trying to attend some fiber events like this if you're also in the fiber world, whether that's like a festival or a convention or anything in those kinds of veins, like just these big community gatherings of fiber people, because it really is just like so special. And I'm so happy that I had the chance to be a part of it. And now that this experience is done, I'm just like counting down for the next one, which is going to be in 2 years, and I'm for sure going to go. And I hope that this is something that I can like continue to go to as it's happening, because I just loved it so much. Also, while I was interning here this whole week, I ran across so many of you guys, the people who watch my videos, and I can't even tell you the amount of joy that all of those encounters brought me over the course of this week. So every time someone came up to me and was like, I watch your videos, I was like almost moved to tears by that. It really brought me so much joy And it was so fun to connect with you and chat with you and learn about what you do in the fiber world as well. So if you came up to me at any point in the conference, I just want to say thank you. You absolutely made my whole experience here, and I mean that so genuinely. Anyway, I've been chatting quite a lot and I should be packing right now to get ready for my flight. So I'm gonna wrap things up here. Thank you again to Convergence for hosting me at this incredible event. Thank you to all the amazing people that I met throughout this entire experience, especially my YouTube followers. Thank you to you for watching this video. I hope you had an enjoyable time and would maybe consider coming to an event like this in the future. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you'd like to see some more of my content, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye!
Kathy's